Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to a recap of night number 28 of Big Brother Season 25's overnight feeds. A good Wednesday morning to y'all. We've got an episode going on this evening. That'll be fun to watch that. Let's talk about what happened overnight. Not as crazy as the night before, but we still had some things taking place. Before we do that, let's talk about kind of where the house stands in terms of Thursday night. Blue and Jag are on the block. One of them is going to go home unless something weird happens with this power of invincibility that we're going to talk about. I kind of don't think that's the case. So either Blue or Jag going home. Now, Sari and her group had talked about back and forth about who to send home. There've already been a couple of flip-flops. But for right now, it seems like they've flipped back over to sending Jag home and saving Blue. We've got 24 hours, 36 hours left, so it could still change completely. But for right now, sending Jag out the door is probably the best forecast of what's going to happen. Then we'll have HOH and all kinds of things could happen after that. All right, so let's talk about this special Power of Invincibility competition. The voting ended Monday morning, I think. Well, we finally had a little bit of information that took place. Everyone got pulled away. No one knows who competed for sure. Certainly no one knows who won. Everyone's lying through their teeth for the most part, saying they didn't play, they didn't win, all that. We'll talk all about it here in a second, but let's just start with the feeds themselves. Let's start with Blue talking to the cameras. And this actually is not overnight. This is a little bit earlier in the day, but Blue's talking to the cameras. She is saying that she's in a 7-person alliance. I assume she's talking about the seven deadly sins. That's the only one I think she's in. But anyway, she's saying that she's in a 7-person alliance, that she doesn't even know what's going on within there, that she keeps talking to people, that they just keep saying that she is good, but that no one really wants to talk to her, that she needs to be working on relationships and all that, but it's hard to do it while you're on the block because, again, no one especially wants to talk to you while you're on the block. She's right about everything that she said. Here's the thing. Blue really hasn't contributed to any gameplay or strategy within that group, or really within any other group so far. She's been a little more preoccupied with Jared, I think. And as a result, she shouldn't be surprised that she's not really being consulted for decisions making place, especially when she's on the block and the other person on the block are both part of that 7-person alliance. So yeah, it's difficult. It's probably a little too late at this point in time. Yes, she needs to work on her relationships, but when you're on the block, people tend to avoid you. They don't want to talk to you too much, especially if there's a chance that you're going home. And certainly, again, it looks like maybe it could be Jag now. Blue may survive, but maybe not so much because of what she's done, but because people view Jag as a little bit more of a competitive threat. But we'll find out. But yeah, Blue is recognizing that she really doesn't have a real good grasp on this game just yet. Wasn't it just 24 hours ago that she was the one that felt like she had a really good relationship with everyone in the house except for Nicole? Well, as the campaigning's starting, I think she's starting to realize that maybe her position is just a little more precarious. So I just wanted to throw that out there. All right, we do have, well, let's talk about a little bit more about it. She's thinking that her best play, if she was to stay in the house, was to form an alliance of her and Jared, of course, and also Corey and America. So grab the 4 showmancers together and make a run of it. Don't know how that would work. Corey and America have lost a lot of trust with a lot of people. Cameron talked about he's very anti-Corey at this point in time. We've heard suspicions from Sari, Izzy, and Felicia. So Corey not really on the good side of a lot of people as well. But Blue's ready to grab the other showmancer and make something of it. We'll see if they make that happen. But she mentioned that Jared has some kind of family member in the house, so it's important that she play her cards right. Could Jared not have spelled that anymore to her? Yeah, maybe you can confuse Felicia and Sari in terms of who his mom is, but some kind of family member. It's his mom. It's his mom. But yeah, she's saying he seems like he maybe has someone in his house. You think? So she's saying she may need to play her cards right with that, and we'll see where that goes. If Blue stays, it doesn't seem like Blue's going to blow up Jared's game by mentioning this to anyone as part of her campaigning. So The only other thinking is that if she got sent out the door, would she be vindictive and say something at that point in time? It looks like we may not have the opportunity for that later. So the secret sounds like it may remain a secret for just a little bit longer, assuming that Blue and Jared can actually keep their mouths shut. All right, let's talk again about this power of invincibility. It created a little bit of I don't know, a little bit of chaos throughout the entire evening. We lost the feeds a lot. They were on and off as people were cycling in and out and through this competition. So if you remember, the ground rules were that 4 people were going to be picked. I can't say by America anymore because then it confuses everything. 4 people were going to be picked by the Big Brother viewers to get to compete. And of those 4, whoever won this unknown competition would then win a power of invincibility. I believe it's for 2 weeks that they can pull people off the block, save people in some form or manner. We don't know all the rules just yet, but that's the basis of the situation. So the voting ended Monday. Everyone's been picked, and the house guests were alerted that this has occurred. They were not told who was picked. They also weren't told what the power was. I think they just were told a special power. Which creates all kinds of uncertainty in that house throughout the afternoon and the evening itself. So how are these people going to get to compete without everyone knowing who got picked and who didn't? It's because every person, one at a time, left the house for about 30 minutes or so to either compete in a competition or maybe they just sat on the set for 30 minutes. We don't know what happened on all of them. Apparently Blue walked out the front door, which I thought was kind of strange. Maybe something taking place on the stage. Made me think maybe Julie Chen was involved somehow. But then it sounds like everyone else left through the diary room. So we're not really sure exactly what happened. Not sure the competition itself either. So we'll find all of that out on the episodes coming up. And again, we don't even know if the non-selected house guests got to play or just sat there for 30 minutes. I think it's the latter. They just sat there, but one at a time they walked out of the house to compete or not to compete. Blue was the first to leave around noon or so, a little after noon, and throughout the afternoon then we had that happen. So we'll come back to that in just a second. All right, we got Jared and Corey and America in the upstairs lounge talking, speculating on who these 4 people picked may be. Jared is thinking Sari and Jag probably got picked. Corey is thinking that Felicia may have gotten picked. I think those are all very reasonable picks. I think all of them are absolute feasibilities as well. So they've got 2, maybe 3. They're trying to figure out who the 4th person is. America's saying it could be you, Corey. Did you get picked? Jared immediately rejected that, saying, "Yeah, it's not Corey." And Corey was a little taken aback. Said, "Well, you said that pretty quick. Why are you saying it couldn't be me, Jared?" And Jared says, "Well, look, Corey, you just don't have the greatest personality to be considered a fan favorite, so they're not going to pick you." And Corey, as rightfully he should be, is a little perturbed that Jared be so quick to say he doesn't have a great personality, that no one's going to like him in terms of fan favorites or anything else. Now, here's the thing. Corey's a huge super fan of Big Brother. He knows everything about this game, including who past fan favorites are, what they did to capture the audience's goodwill and all that. I know Corey knows all that, and I think Corey's been doing a lot to try to make it as possible as it could be that he may be in the running for a fan favorite. So for him to be told that, yeah, your personality isn't anywhere that you would ever be a fan favorite, yeah, he's going to take that a little personal. I don't blame him at all at that point in time. So he's a little upset. Izzy comes up at that point in time, and Jared's kind of making fun of Corey, saying, yeah, he's kind of upset that, I told him he's not going to be fan favorite. And I think they said, well, that's not exactly what you said. You said he didn't have the kind of personality for that. He didn't have that good a personality. So, yeah, a little bit of a division there between Corey and Jared, perhaps, as you see some of these conversations taking place. And a little bit later, Jared's pretty much just saying he doesn't trust Corey. So we'll cover that as well. All right, we got Jag talking to Blue. He's telling Blue that he's going to say he didn't play in that competition, whether or not he actually played or not, because he's afraid that if he says he did play, that would put a target on his back. So this is before he knows whether he is or not. He's saying, I'm saying I'm not playing no matter what happens. He isn't the only house guest planning to tell everyone that they didn't play at all. And I get it. No one wants to have people looking at you and wondering too much. But is there a play for maybe implying just the opposite, implying that you did play, that maybe you did win the special power? Because if you do that, are people going to be a little bit more hesitant about targeting you, going after you, if they think that you may have a power that can blow back on them, or a power that maybe you could help them with? So, yeah, I understand why everyone's trying to downplay and make it look like they're not the ones who won this thing, because you lots of times want to flush out a power, right? But I can kind of see how there would be an opportunity to go the other direction. The problem is, if you didn't play or you didn't win and you're implying that you did, someone out there won, and someone knows that you're not telling the truth. And depending on who that someone is, could create major issues for you. Now, here's the other thing. Cirie came from the game of Survivor. With Survivor and those hidden immunity idols, when you find out someone has one of those, the first thing you want to do is flush that thing out of the game as much as possible. So, if you imply that you have some kind of power with someone like Cirie in there, she may be tempted to try to flush it out as well. So we'll find out over the next few days. All right. Let's talk about Jag some more. Jag tried to campaign to Bowie Jane, and then Red came in just a little bit later. Jag's not really, I guess he's kind of campaigning to Red, but I don't think he thinks he's got much chance there. But Bowie Jane, he thought he had a little bit of a chance. Bowie Jane, the great Big Brother player that she's been so far, tells him, says, look, I'm not HOH, so it's really not my decision to make. I'd love to help you, but I'm not HOH, so I can't do anything about it. Does she not understand the concept of voting? Now, I'm sure what she means is she's going to want to vote with the House. She's tight with Cameron and Red, so she's probably going to want to vote the way they want to vote. Cameron's HOH, so she wants to vote the way the HOH votes. So I get all of what she's trying to say, but the way it came across of, I'm not HOH, so I'm sorry. I can't help you, Jag. I thought that was kind of funny. All right, we got Cirie talking to Jared, and she's basically confirming to Jared that, yes, she was selected to play in the competition. She says that they just took her 2 doors over for the competition, so very close. Probably the same place where I did my Whacktivity, where we've had other competitions over the years, kind of the alternate competition place. So Cirie is saying, yeah, I did, went a couple of doors down, and yeah, I did play as well. Jared is saying that he thinks that Corey might have played, as much as he said he didn't. Now he's saying, yeah, Corey may have played. And so they're talking about Corey a little bit. Cirie is saying if Corey did get to play in this thing, then he'd probably be pretty good at this particular competition. And again, we still don't know what the competition was, but she says he'd probably be pretty good if he got the chance to play. They both start talking about how much they don't trust Corey. So again, Jared and Corey were tight for a while. Cirie did a good job of breaking that up by telling Jared, don't tell Corey anything. You can't trust him. He's telling stuff to America. America's telling stuff to everyone else. And so, yeah, they're both not really trusting Corey at this point in time. Corey has been playing a good game, but some of this information leak has come back to bite him right now. So he just doesn't really have the consensus, the support of a lot of people in the house. All right, we've got Cirie and Matt talking to each other. Matt confirms to Cirie that, yeah, he played in the competition as well. And Cirie kind of said, yeah, me too. And so they've confirmed to each other that they both played. They're both low playing it. They're saying, yeah, I didn't do very well. Nah, I didn't do very well either. So neither one of them is fessing up if they thought they did well in the competition itself. The big thing about this conversation is that Matt told Cirie. I think the fact that he told her shows that Matt really does have a lot of trust in Cirie. I see Matt just continuing to rise up in terms of Cirie and her who she trusts, who she wants to work with. I think Matt's in a pretty good spot right now. So yeah, he has told her. So we know 2 of the people who competed in this competition. So with that in mind, let's just kind of take all the conversations throughout the evening, talk about what we do know, suspect on the competition as far as who competed. Cirie and Matt almost certainly played, unless they're lying to each other, which is possible, but I don't think so. Cirie and Matt almost certainly played. Felicia might have played because Cirie said something about, she mentioned something that was on the instruction cards that I had. She said on the card. And so I don't know that she would know that if she hadn't played herself. So Cirie is thinking that Felicia might have played. It makes sense. I can certainly see the viewers voting Felicia as one of the top 4 to compete in this thing. So that's a possibility. Now, Felicia And Cirie have not been doing great here lately. Cirie is really upset with Felicia because Felicia looks like she maybe is considering some other options. She said she couldn't trust Cirie because Cirie talked too much. So Cirie's a little unhappy with Felicia, and it could be that Cirie is just trying to throw Felicia under the bus a little bit. But I think it's possible that Felicia was also playing this game. And then who's the fourth one? We really don't know at this point in time. Maybe Jag, maybe Corey. Jag at one point was talking to, he was in the scary room. I can't remember who he's talking to, maybe Red. But after they left, Jag kind of looked at the cameras and gave a little smile, which I know a lot of people are thinking maybe could suggest that he's feeling better about everything. And maybe that means that he got to play. We just don't know. And Corey, who knows? I could see Corey getting picked. There was a conversation, America and Corey on the hammock. The feeds were cut, so we didn't hear the whole conversation. But when they came back, America was saying, "Oh, America is the viewers are team Corey." He said something about their team Corey and America. She said, "No, just team Corey," kind of suggesting that maybe he got picked and told her, but she didn't. And so we don't know. But we think maybe at least Matt and Cirie and Felicia perhaps, and then one of those two others. It may not matter. What really matters is who won this thing. And that's where it gets interesting. After all the competitions took place, everyone started getting brought into the diary room to cover whether they won or not, maybe ask a few other questions as well. But it really was a situation where someone we think was told that they were the winner. And funniest thing, after Cirie had been in the diary room a little bit later, she came into the comic room. She's all by herself. She does a little happy dance. She looks at one of the cameras and says, "Thank you, America." It certainly seems, she's already said she played, it certainly seems like she is very excited, which suggests that she may have won, and now she knows what the power is. Now, here's the kicker. No one else in this house knows what this power is, and probably will not know it until it's used. So they don't know how long it's going to last, what it offers. It's going to be a pure wrench in everyone's plans. In fact, I think Jared and Corey were talking at one point, and he said, "Man, we don't know anything about this power, so we can't even try to plan or play around it. We just have to pretend like it's not there because there's no telling what it is." But it looks like Cirie may have the power. Again, it's only for 2 weeks, so it doesn't last forever, but at least for the next 2 weeks, she's in a pretty strong position. Now, here's an interesting scenario or consideration. Let's assume that Cirie did win this thing, that she's got the power to pull someone off the block. Who would she use it on? Would she use it on Jared? You would think so, but I don't know. Would she use it on Izzy? Well, you would think so, but she did have a conversation later saying maybe she can't protect Izzy forever. Would she use it on Felicia? Maybe not. Probably not at this point in time. Would she use it on Matt? Maybe. I actually think she'd more likely use it on Matt or Jared of anyone. So, yeah, I don't know. She may get herself into quite the situation if some marginal person that she wants to work with, but not her absolute tightest person, is on the block. Do you use it or do you save it in case you need it the following week? We're going to find out next week, I suppose. But it does look like Cirie may have won this thing. So, yeah, congrats to you, Cirie, if you won it. All right. Let's go back to the feeds and finish this thing up. First of all, we've got Blue tried to campaign to Izzy a little bit. She's trying. Hey, Lord, she's trying, but she tried with Izzy and no real progress. In fact, it was more Izzy eventually saying, "Oh, this is maybe how you need to approach people. This is maybe the pitch you need to use." So her kind of giving some advice to Blue on what needs to be done. So yeah, maybe not swaying a lot of minds right there. All right, we've got Cirie and Nicole talking the storage room. Some interesting tidbits here. First of all, they're talking about this Red and Izzy conflict that's been going on. They just hate each other. They're both coming to Cirie complaining and on and on. Cirie is telling Nicole that she can't keep talking Red off the edge. He keeps saying he wants Cirie, he wants Izzy gone. He doesn't want to be in an alliance with her, on and on and on. She's saying, "I can't keep talking him off the ledge when Izzy does this. And I can't keep protecting Izzy either. I'm doing what I can, but it's not going to last forever." So again, maybe Cirie's seeing that Izzy's creating a little conflict and there's only so much she can do without sticking her neck out too far. So she mentions that. She does tell Nicole that she is the brown sugar babes to the end. Yeah, you're seeing maybe a little bit more of a truer alliance, that maybe she's a little bit less excited about having Izzy in her group as she used to be. So Tam McCole, brown sugar babies to the end. McCole is agreeing, but also suggesting that, Red, the way he is, he could be lying about some stuff, and he could be exaggerating about some stuff as well. So she's coming to Izzy's defense a little bit, in mentioning that. About that time, Felicia comes in. They start talking about this whole Jag versus Blue vote, and it appears that they're all talking now about voting out Jag. It may change in the next few hours, but for now, voting out Jag. All right, we had lots of non-game talk. Taco Tuesday, one of my favorites, but Taco Tuesday was taking place. The group was kind of split between the kitchen and that little seating area out in the backyard. Later, Blue tried to teach everyone some Korean. Bowie Jane tried to teach everyone some Australian. Derek Frazier would point out how much he admires Bowie Jane for playing a game in English, so maybe he can learn a little Australian as well. But so they tried to have some cultural lessons in the backyard. Later, we had America and Corey in the hammock talking, and Corey saying that America saying that she is tired of the for real alliance, that she's just she doesn't like it, that she sees that she knows it's this group of four, Izzy and Felicia and Sari and McCole, that are the core of this group. She says, I walk into a room at 8:00 in the morning and they're sitting there whispering around, and they stop as soon as I walk in. And she says, I'm part of the alliance too, but obviously I'm not really, because they're talking amongst themselves or stopping when I come in. What could you be talking about at 8 in the morning? And so she's recognizing that she's kind of in the alliance, but not really. So she's saying she's tired with it. She tells Corey that if she wins HOH, she's putting up either Izzy and Sari or Izzy and Felicia. That she's tired of it. She's done with it. Corey is saying, well, if that happens, we'll talk about it. He's saying that the alliance, even though she feels uncomfortable with it, he says this alliance will get us further down the road. And he's saying eventually this alliance is going to break up. There's already divisions taking place, already people getting upset with each other. He's saying, let's just ride it for a little while. And once it falls apart, then we can grab who we want to and form something new. I think it's a fine strategy. Kind of I did the same thing, waiting for that big alliance to break up in my season. So Corey's saying, just because we know we're not the key part of that alliance doesn't mean we can't still use it going forward. All right, we had the feeds go out for several hours. That came back around 1:30 or so in the morning. When the feeds came back, Corey had just gotten off the hammock. He's brushing his teeth, heading upstairs to bed in the have-not room. Bowie Jane will be happy to see that. Matt and America are continuing to talk by the hammock. I think Matt was sitting off to the side. Corey, America's in the hammock, but they're talking. Both of them are saying that they would prefer to keep Jag over Blue. And Corey had said the same thing earlier as well. So, I'm still curious to see if this is going to be a somewhat unanimous decision, or we may have our first split house vote come Thursday. But they're both saying they'd be just fine keeping Jag. Matt is talking about that he would America says, if you get HOH, Matt, what are you going to do? And he says, well, I don't want to get people mad. I probably will put up Red and Cameron if I'm HOH, because he says, if I don't do that, everyone's going to get upset with me. And I don't want to do that. Because remember, America's already saying, I'm going after, Izzy and some other configuration. Matt's saying, yeah, I'm not doing that. Because again, Matt's in tight with Sari in a way America is not. So they've got that. Now, America isn't necessarily saying that she would go after Sari and Izzy and such to Matt, it's a good thing she doesn't say that, given his relationship with Sari. She's saying, yeah, I get it, but maybe I'd go after Red and, I don't know, Bowie Jane instead. So she's also focusing on the other side of the house a little bit as she talks to Matt. But I think we know what she actually would like to do. America is talking about the fact that Red thinks he's so tight with Sari, when really that's not the case. America's asking if the 8-person alliance, I think that's a Legends 25, if that's still on. Matt's saying, kind of yes, kind of no. He's saying, maybe not so much if Cameron wants a new alliance, which seems like that's the case. He mentions him wanting to try to maybe recruit America and Matt, saying, well, he's trying to bring in some more people to form something else, but he's still trying to work with the alliance. So I don't know. So just like the alliances on Cerie's side, seeing some divisions, this Legends 25 is certainly it's done. Any alliance that has Izzy and Red and Cameron as members can't be a real alliance beyond this week, right? So yeah, he's saying, it's kind of there officially or pseudo. People aren't saying it's not there, but we know it's not going to last forever. All right, so we have that, and really, that's about it. I think they talked, just chit chat for a little bit more, but everyone called it at a decent hour last night. Everyone in bed by 2:00 or so. So there you have it, guys. The key things is we think Cirie won the Power of Invincibility, not for certain, but we think she won it. Jag is still probably the target. We're still seeing a lot of splits and divisions in these groups. Another week or two, and it's just going to blow up. Once we get past the pre-jury phase into jury, we're going to have people taking shots at brand new targets, some of them right next to each other. So it's going to be great. All right, guys, y'all have a fantastic Wednesday. Enjoy tonight's episode. Tomorrow, Eviction Day, and another HOH is going to be great. I'll be back tomorrow morning to give you another update. Until then, SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye.